Ice has always been a really unfortunate type in the Pokemon world. It has absolutely amazing offensive potential. It's strong against 3 of the best types in the game: Flying, Ground, and Dragon, and it also has access to one of the best and most consistent moves ever made in Pokemon: Ice Beam. For all of Ice's strengths in its offensive play, it has absolutely no defensive utility at all. It has weaknesses to 2 of the most common attacking types, Fire and Fighting, as well as having a debilitating weakness to Rocks, which is both an issue in singles and doubles, due to the prevalence of Stealth Rocks and spread moves such as Rock Slide. Because Ice is such a good attacking type, this makes it a brilliant coverage type. When using Ice-type moves, you have all of the attacking benefits, but don't have the debilitating defensive drawbacks that the Ice types have. This is why Ice Beam is one of those brilliant moves, because it's such a good coverage move. No water type leaves home without a trusty Ice Beam in their arsenal. Because of this, one of the first changes that I would introduce to the Ice type are some type changes. It needs more defensive utility, because currently it only resists itself. I think that the 2 best options for this are Ghost and Water types. Both of these could work thematically if you use a bit of creative license, and they would really help to balance out the types. My reason why Ice should resist Ghost is because Ghosts are often presented as being quite cold and chilly, and that doesn't really affect the Ice type. The real reason that I wanted to add this is because Ghost is an incredible attacking type. Only 2 types can switch into it: Dark and Normal, and Normal types generally can't even punish them. Because of this, it makes Ghost type moves really spammable. You can just click them and not have to think about the repercussions. Pokemon is a very complex game, and it's a game of strategy, and I like adding in more thinking into the game. Giving Ghost that extra thing that they just have to think about, where an Ice type could come in and resist them, would, in my opinion, really just make the game a bit more interesting. Water is in a similar scenario, as they can get by just spamming their water attacks. They have a lot of really good moves, like Surf, Wave Crash, and Liquidation, that can really just go unpunished. Water is only resisted by 3 types, when you don't include water itself. The Grass type is generally made of not very offensively minded or threatening Pokemon. Electric types are generally weak and frail, and the Dragon types, well, I already mentioned how no water type leaves the house without Ice Beam. Giving Ice the ability to switch into water safely would really punish these water types for their water spam, especially when you consider the move Freeze Dry, which most Ice types have available to them. From a theme perspective, it's always felt weird that Ice doesn't resist water. If you add a little bit of water to a lot of Ice, it's going to freeze. It's the same principle that's behind why water resists Ice. Whilst these changes would go a long way to buff Ice types and help balance out the chart more, the main purpose of them is to give defensive Ice types an actual use. Pokemon has this trend of developing really bulky but really slow Ice types, and it just doesn't work with how they've developed the type. The current Ice type lends itself to fast and frail attackers, who are meant to hit hard and basically be glass cannons. We see this in some amazing Pokemon, like Chien Pao or Iron Bundle. Whilst these 2 are overpowered for other reasons, part of what makes them great is the fact that they have access to that super strong Ice stab. Look at a more defensive Ice type like Avalugg. Avalugg is meant to be a giant physical wall. But how can you be a physical wall if you take super effective damage from the likes of Stealth Rock or Close Combat? Avalugg's typing does it absolutely no favors, and adding in a few more resistances would really help out balance these type of Pokemon. Specifically, it would make Ice types brilliant special walls, because now they resist 3 of the best attacking special types in the game. A lot of Ice types are built to be strong special walls, so they would actually now be useful. The second change that I'd go with for Ice is the changes around Snow. Snow and its predecessor Hail were really unique amongst the weathers because they only interacted with a single type. Rain generally benefits water, flying, and electric Pokemon, while Sun is beneficial to fire and grass Pokemon. Snow and Hail have only ever benefited the Ice types. Because of this, I think that Snow should go the extra mile. I think it would be really interesting if snow lowered the speeds of all ungrounded Pokemon, because the snowy conditions in the air would make it much harder to fly. Doesn't have to be a half modifier because I think that would be a bit too powerful, but even if it was the equivalent as just one speed drop, it would really be impactful. Imagine you switch in your max speed Abomasnow into a Landoruspherian, and then you outspeed it the next turn to knock it out, and it can't get that U-turn off. I also think it's really weird that Pokemon took away the damage that Hail used to do. I would suggest that they either bring this back, or they introduce Snow as healing for Ice types, similar to how the current ability Ice Body works. In order to make that ability useful, I think that Ice Body should be twice as good, so instead it recovers 1/8 of your health, because I love Walrein, and I think that Walrein should really be a lot more powerful. Another snow-based ability that I could see being introduced is something like Snowpack, and this increases all of the defenses for the Pokemon that has it. I know that Snow already increases the defense of Ice types, but this would add on to that, basically making them really bulky. Give it to some Pokemon like Beartic, who already is a Snow abuser, even though a not very good one, as well as Pokemon like Mamoswine and maybe the other elephants to reference the idea of mammoths getting stuck in ice. You could even expand this to some other Pokemon that are snow adjacent, so Furret and Mienshao, the kind of animals that they are based off, are known to bury themselves in the snow, so maybe you could expand it to this. The final change that I would introduce to Ice type is the reintroduction of Frostbite. We're probably gonna get this in Pokemon Legends ZA, but introducing it into the main core series would be really appreciated. Freeze has always been my least liked status. This is because it's volatile. You have no control over it. There aren't moves that guarantee that you will get Freeze, and unlike Sleep, it's just a guessing game of when you get out of it. Freeze is such a luck-based mechanic that it just never felt competitive, whereas Frostbite would be really good. I've made a video about how physical Pokemon have it so much worse than special Pokemon, and Frostbite would help alleviate some of that. I personally would much more appreciate Frostbite in the game compared to the randomness of Freeze. If you were to do this as well, just make the move that causes Frostbite the equivalent of Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp, just call it Frostbite. So those are all of the changes to Ice types that I would like to see in the world of Pokemon. I've made a video like this before, but it was a long time ago and I don't think I got across the points that well. If you've enjoyed this, please consider liking or subscribing because I hope I've earned it and I'm aiming for 500 subscribers around the summertime. Thank you.